Hello, today we're going to talk about the parts of the cell, and these parts are called organelles. We're going to identify these parts and we're going to talk a little bit about what they do. So first we have the nucleus. The nucleus is the brains of the cell. This tells what the rest of the cell to do. So we're going to think of it as the boss in the cell, and you can see right here the nucleus is in the middle. Next, we have our cell wall and our cell membrane. So these both are the outer parts of a cell. The difference is that a cell wall is in a plant cell and a cell membrane is in an animal cell. We're not going to get into detail about that yet, but just know that these are the outer parts of the cell. So they're sort of like our skin. They protect us, they allow some substances in, and they keep others out. Then we have the mitochondria. This is the powerhouse of the cell. This is where the cell gets its energy from, and that energy is called ATP. Next, we have ribosomes. These are like tiny factories in the cell because they produce things for our cell to function, and they actually make proteins. Then we have our cytoplasm. This fills up our cells, so it's going to surround all the parts in the cell. So that stuff is just floating in the cytoplasm, or organelles are floating in the cytoplasm. Think of the cytoplasm like a lake or a river, and our organelles are going to be the boats on that river. And it is a jelly-like substance. Next, we have our lysosomes. These are our janitors. They clean up the cell. They clean up the cell by getting rid of waste and other unwanted substances. So we have a short video to explain some stuff.
Cytoplasm, let's start with ribosomes. They are not membrane-bound organelles, and they're going to be in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. They make protein, which is really important because that's what so much of genetic material, DNA, codes for, protein. Ribosomes can be free in the cytoplasm, but they can be attached to another organelle too, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We're now going to focus on DNA, for example. Both prokaryotes and eukaryotes have DNA, but if you're a eukaryote, you have a nucleus to put it in. The nucleus controls the cell's activities, and inside it, it has a nucleolus, which is where ribosomes can be produced. Attached to the membrane of the nucleus, or nuclear membrane, you will find the endoplasmic reticulum, ER for short. It does a lot of processing of molecules for the cell, like protein folding, and it's highly involved in actually transporting those molecules around, like a highway. There's a rough ER, which has ribosomes attached to it, making it, as you can imagine, rough, and then a smooth ER, which doesn't have the ribosomes. Rough ER specifically tends to be involved with protein producing and transporting, because remember that ribosomes make protein. Now, molecules that leave the ER can be sent away in vesicles that actually pinch off the ER themselves. Now, smooth ER has many additional roles, including detoxification, which is one reason why your liver cells tend to have a lot of smooth ER. And another additional role of smooth ER is that it can make some types of lipids. Next, the Golgi apparatus. It's the ultimate packaging center. Through a vesicle, from the Golgi to the membrane. Out we go! Now just keep in mind that in our quick tour, there are still so many more awesome organelles found in lots of different types of eukaryote cells to continue exploring, so to the Google for more. Well, that's it for the Viva Sisters.